self-defense, because that's where the case was really fought. Karmelo didn't take the stand. That's the first thing you understand. And to be clear, he didn't have to. A defendant can raise self-defense without testifying. His lawyers could use witness testimony, physical evidence. They could use size difference, the fact that Karmelo was sitting, the fact that Austin was standing. Okay, they're gonna look at who touched who first. But they're also gonna look at Karmelo's statements after the incident. Shout out to Juan Jeezy. So the defense could point to Karmelo allegedly saying, I was protecting myself. He put his hands on me. They could say Austin was bigger. They could say Austin was standing over him. They could say Karmelo was sitting down the whole time. They could say Austin put hands on him first. They could say Karmelo felt surrounded. But see, the problem is because Karmelo didn't take the stand, he couldn't say that. It might have been enough to raise a self-defense. They can argue it in a closing statement. But raising a self-defense isn't the same as winning a self-defense argument. And that's where the defense failed. Now, we can hindsight this thing because that's, hindsight is 2020. But I understand why the defense didn't want to put that boy up on the stand. He's 19 years old. He would have cracked under that cross-examination. And that made the jury not like him more than they already didn't like him. Now, I want to explain something very carefully to you. I want y'all to listen to me because there's a lot of ignorance on the internet right now. We're going to talk about ordinary self-defense. Somebody type ordinary in the chat room. Ordinary. Pay attention. The Texas Penal Code, Section 9.31 covers ordinary self-defense. Most of you all who live in the United States, there's only one state that doesn't have ordinary self-defense, but bottom line is, some states, they won't let you defend yourself, but the bottom line is, Texas is one of those places that have something called self-defense, and they refer to as ordinary self-defense in 9.31 in the Texas Penal Code. If Austin pushed Karmelo, grabbed him or tried to move him, Karmelo had the right to use force back. He had the right to defend himself. Nobody's refuting that. I think we all can agree if somebody puts their hands on you, you have a right to defend yourself, correct? Right? If somebody pushed you, grabbed you, okay, you have a right to push them back. Hell, you have a right to swing on them. You have a right to kick them in the shin, kick them in the nuts. You have a right to hit them with an uppercut. You have a right to take your right hand and swing as hard as you can and try to hit them with a haymaker. But see, that's ordinary self-defense. That's not deadly force. You see the difference? See, when we go to the Texas Penal Code, Section 9.32, it says deadly force is justified only if the person would already be justified in using force under Section 9.31. In other words, you can already use ordinary force, okay? But in addition to that, you have to reasonably believe deadly force is immediately necessary to protect yourself against unlawful deadly force. In other words, they're using deadly force against you. And you can use deadly force to prevent serious crime like murder, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated robbery, or aggravated robbery. See, that's the legal problem. Are y'all listening? Let me run this down to you. The self-defense argument failed because Texas treats regular force and deadly force differently. Where was the deadly force coming from Austin? Where was the deadly force coming from Austin Metcalf? Huh? He pushed him. We can agree, right? He pushed him. But where was the weapon? Where was Austin's knife? Where was Austin's gun? Where was his baseball bat? Where was the evidence that Karmelo was about to get killed or suffer serious bodily injury as he sat there in that stadium in a rainstorm with a whole bunch of other people under the tent? That's what I'm trying to understand. And that's why the jury rejected the self-defense argument, because there was no deadly force. Yeah, somebody put their hands on you. Yeah, I get that. But you can't haul off and bust a cap in them, can you? Because somebody pushed you. You can't stab them because somebody pushed you, can you? Is that what we are? I'm just asking questions. Somebody type just asking questions. Because, see, the question is not whether or not Austin Metcalf was wrong. He was wrong for putting his hands on that other little boy. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. I get that. Austin was wrong. He put his hands on Karmelo first. I get that. That's easy. He pushed him. Hell, he tried to jack him up like a football player. I get that. He tried to forcibly remove him out the tent. But see, here's the problem. Under Texas law, that doesn't automatically justify the use of deadly force. You can't stab somebody because they pushed you. This is not somebody getting stomped out by 5 people. Karmelo wasn't on the ground getting stomped out till he was damn near unconscious. This wasn't some grown man attacking a child in an alley in the Bronx at 2 o'clock in the morning. This wasn't South Central LA in the 1990s and somebody surrounding you because you made a wrong turn into the Jordan Down projects. This is a high school track meet in suburban Frisco, Texas. Wide open, daylight, stadium full of kids and coaches and tents and witnesses and grown-ups. 2 17-year-old kids from different schools. One boy may be a little bit bigger. One was sitting down. One put hands on the other one. But this is a fist fight. Because, see, what the jury had to decide was whether this justified pulling a blade and using deadly force. And they said, no, you don't have to like me. I'm telling you what the jury said. And if you, in the word to the wise to be sufficient, if you find yourself in a situation, if you find yourself in a situation where you feel compelled to pull out that iron and let somebody have it, understand that you might end up in the penitentiary. Especially if they've done nothing more than insult you or put their hands on you, something like that. I'm just giving you that word. I'm giving it to you. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but you better talk to your kids. You better talk to your children. You better talk to your man. You better watch it. You better control yourselves. You can't escalate like that. And here's another one. Somebody type, stand your ground. Stand your ground. The no duty to retreat argument, that failed too. Just like many other states down south, Texas law does say that in certain circumstances, a person doesn't have to retreat before using force or deadly force. But no duty to retreat doesn't mean you get a free license to kill somebody. You still have to meet the deadly force standard. You still have to reasonably believe force is immediately necessary. That's why Karmelo's not testifying probably mattered. Think about it. Now, he didn't have to take the stand. I'm gonna say that again, and we're all innocent until proven guilty. I understand why the defense lawyers didn't. I know why criminal defense lawyers don't want to put their clients on the stand in criminal cases, especially murder cases. But without that testimony, without that clear view showing exactly what happened under the tent, the jury never heard from him. They didn't hear him explain. He didn't get a chance to say, this is what I saw, this is what I felt, this is what I believed. I was about to suffer death or some serious bodily injury. He didn't get up there and say, yeah, you know, these dudes surrounded me. I know this boy's got a reputation. They know jujitsu. None of that. Bottom line is, weighing all those factors, I believe I needed to use my knife to protect myself. He didn't say that. Instead, the jury had to piece his fear together from witness testimony and police statements in the scene. And apparently that wasn't enough, was it? I mean, look, This is a schoolyard fight. It's not a deadly force situation. Austin didn't pull a gun. He didn't pull a knife. Karmelo wasn't beaten unconscious. He wasn't broken and bleeding. He wasn't getting packed out. This is a teenage confrontation under a tent at a track meet, man. It was Karmelo that escalated ordinary force to deadly force. That's how the jury got to murder. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but it is what it is. You want to know what happened, or you want me to tell you, want me to say something to make you feel good? Somebody type feel good in the chat room. Y'all want to feel good, or you want the facts? Shout out to the reparations perspective. Shout out to inspirational truth. You want to feel good? Everybody want me to make them feel good. If you want me to make you feel good, type feel good in the chat room. I want you to make me feel good. I'm not going to make you feel good over here. That's somebody else's page. It's not what we do here. We tell the truth over here. We're going to be honest over here. Hopefully this will save some of y'all lives.